Hello, everybody, and welcome to another webinar. I'm Tracy Johnson, and I'm here with Andy Meadows today. And while everybody gets logged in, and we'll get started here in just a couple of minutes. So stand by for Ava Hart's Money Machine Playbook coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Tracy Johnson from Tracy Johnson Media Group, and today Andy Meadows and I, along with some help from our friend at Radio Content Pro, Ava Hart, the digital spokesperson and all-around radio smartass, will show you how to make some money, some new digital money. With some tools that are groundbreaking. It's a presentation that I showed to a market manager a little over a week ago, and they couldn't wait to get started. They're launching here in October, and we'll show you some genius ways that we've created that will make it easy for you, no matter what market you're in, to be able to have access to creating the same type of platform that the big stations use, and even some that the big stations can't do. So first, I want to say hello to Andy Meadows. Andy is with Radio Update. Andy, tell everybody a few of the things that you do.
Yes, I'm the chief editor for Radio Update, and Ava Hart has contributed a couple articles for us recently that have done really well, by the way. And I'm also a consultant. I have a couple clients, programming consultant, and I do have clients that are using Radio Content Pro and are incredibly happy with it. So
terrific. So Andy has done some work with me at the Tracy Johnson Media Group. I've known him for, almost a decade. And highly recommend Radio Update at radioupdate.com for it's a great follow. So who's Ava Hart and what's Ava Hart all about? Well, about 2 years ago, Radio Content Pro launched. And Radio Content Pro is a tool that a lot of you know about, some of you are on the webinar today have used and are currently using, and you're coming in to find out new ways to use it. And I'll show you a little bit about it as we go along here. But Ava Hart is the digital spokesperson. She's an AI avatar that is trained on radio to help radio stations personalize the entire Radio Content Pro experience. And you'll learn more about that as we go along. We're calling this Ava Hart's Money Machine Playbook because we've come up with a way to engage your fans, to attract new listeners, to generate tens of thousands of dollars per year, and I believe per month for the right approach, with no tech headaches required. So sounds too good to be true, right? I know we've got a lot of market managers on this call, and I know we've got some program directors. I saw some personalities in there. I saw some VPs of programming that have come in, and I saw some tech people that are in the audience today. As we go along, you're going to have questions. So you can ask those questions through the chat box. Just click on the chat icon and you can talk about it right there in the chat box. If you want to remain anonymous, click the Q&A tab that's right next to it, and it'll come directly to Andy, Ava, and me, and we'll answer the questions as they come in at the end of the seminar today. So we plan to go about 30 minutes or so, but I want to show you some ways that if you're a program director that's looking to engage your audience in new ways, to find new listeners that you can attract to your station or stations in your cluster. And if you're looking for ways that you can give the sales team some things that they can go out and sell and truly find new revenue sources, some digital revenue sources, this is for you. If you're a market manager who's beating their head against the wall, trying to find a way to manage your costs. The last thing you want to hear is, well, this is a really great idea, but I'm going to have to hire 3 people to make it happen. Where are you going to get the budget for that? We figured out a way where you can manage the costs. In fact, I think you can do this with your existing staff, no matter what kind of a skeleton staff you operate. Maximize your resources and create truly new revenue opportunities. We won't go through all the revenue opportunities today because there's not time, but I've identified 27 different ways that managers, sales departments can make revenue with this one idea that we're going to show you in Ava Hart's Money Machine Playbook. So as Ava says, let's make it rain, because your website is a powerful weapon, or a new website that you create is a powerful weapon. So we're going to turn it into a perpetual motion machine that prints cash. That's what this is all about today. Now, as we go along, I'll also talk to you program directors and show you ways that you can use it to drive awareness for your station brands, for your sister stations, and attract new audience from outside of your existing queue. The big idea here is how you can own conversations in your local market. I'm going to show you an idea where you can create a local portal. Now, maybe the newspaper or a television station owns that space now in your market. They're creating news on a regular basis. They're generating a lot of traffic. They're getting a lot of digital presence. You need to be in that conversation. With the power of 2 or 3 or 4 radio stations using their loudspeaker to drive traffic into it, you can do that. If you own the conversation, you'll be able to increase your audience and print that revenue. One of the things that I see at radio stations all over, and Andy, you've probably seen this too in some of the stations you consult, is radio station websites are way too busy. They're crammed with content that listeners don't come to a radio station for.
Yeah, when my wife's a graphic designer, and when I have her look at a radio station website, that's the very first thing that she says. There's way too much going on here. It's because stations are trying to cram everything in there.
The art of creating a radio station.
Yeah, it is. It's that most station sites are filled with junk. There's a bunch of information and feeds that are coming from all over that nobody comes there to find out about. They don't come to a radio station, and it's hiding the good stuff. It's hiding your streams and your contests and the things that the audience does want to find when they come to your site. So we're going to show you how you can own a digital property in your market, how you can control that narrative and get some new inventory to sell, how you'll be able to promote your brands to new audiences and sell a fortune in new revenue. This essentially impacts every department in your station. For programmers, I'll show you how to engage your current listeners and find new ones. For promotions, this is great for branding, for cross-promotion, for email marketing. For digital managers, we'll show you how to create traffic, create content, and how to use AI-powered tools to make it happen and not drive yourself crazy. And for sales, you get new inventory, more sponsors, and a bigger payoff. So it's a great idea, but I know what you're thinking. Some market managers are on here saying, who's going to do it? Where do I find the staff? Well, first of all, you're not going to need a computer science degree. You're not going to need more people. All you need is a pulse and a browser and the motivation to get out there and make it rain. So the first step is to get a local URL. Just like Andy was talking about, your local station website is crammed with stuff that listeners don't come to you for. Let's take a lot of that content and make a local portal. For example, I'm here in San Diego. Maybe that portal is localsandiego.com. Maybe in Boise, it might be boisenews.com. Whatever fits your situation in your market, and create a local website. So start by getting a local URL. That's the start of your digital gold mine. Now, why would you do that? Why would you do that instead of promoting to your station? Well, let's say you have 3 stations in your cluster. You got a rock station, you got a country station, you got a CHR station. All 3 of them are promoting, hey, go to our website. CHR station's promoting, go to our website and find out the latest on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. And the rock station is saying a tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. It's up on our up on the main page of our website. Go to the rock station site. What if all of that was housed on a local community site that's exposing your radio station to people who are finding that site on an external platform? on a local platform. So that CHR listener might be coming into localsandiego.com and discovering your radio station there for the first time. So there's a lot of ways to cross promote back to that. So there's some programming opportunities there. And then as you lead them from that site back to your individual radio station website, you're driving traffic to 2 or 3 or 4 different portals, all of which you control. So get a local URL that can be a digital hub that creates your gold mine. Then the second step is to get Radio Content Pro. Now, there's a lot of folks on here today who have been Radio Content Pro subscribers for some time. They know how it works. I'm going to bore you guys here for just a second by taking you through a quick example of how this works. Because one of the things that you're saying is, well, we create this local portal. What are we going to put on it? Well, I'm going to show you what you can put on it and how you can do it. But first, I need to show you what it is that happens with Radio Content Pro. So this is a story that happened at 9:03 a.m. Here on the West Coast. Radio Content Pro has different kits that are targeted to different audiences. There's one for basically every format and every demographic. There's everything from news talk to Christian radio to top 40 to hot AC. There's a couple of Hispanic targeted audiences. There's one for every audience, every station. This comes from the CHR version. It's a story about Britney Spears defending her messy mansion filled with dog poop. Happened at 9 o'clock this morning. So this is what every story looks like. It's broken down into 3 different categories. The story, which is a summary, what happens on the air, which includes teases and phone topics and a bunch of things that you would do for your on-air team. And over here is digital content. Today, for this purpose, we're going to focus on digital content. So one of the things, if you start a local portal, you've got to have things to put on the local portal. What are you going to put up there? What Radio Content Pro does is goes to verified sources all over the internet, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And it finds stories that fit the criteria for that specific audience. Once it finds it, it curates that content into 13 different ways and puts it into your dashboard. One of the things that it does is it writes a blog post, or it can be an article, or it can be a post that goes up onto your website. In this case, it writes a catchy title: Britney Spears' messy mansion scandal, dog poop and defiance. And here's a 3 or 4, usually it's 3 or 4, sometimes a 5-paragraph story that rewrites the original article with a personality, a little bit of a point of view, and it's original content that is sourced from the original article, but it's not plagiarized from the original article. It's completely rewritten, and you have the right to use it. So that's what the article comes from. Now, down here, you also get a Facebook post, Twitter post, or X, if you're prefer to call it that, Instagram posts, and other social media thought starters that you can use for your social media campaign. And then there's an AI image generation prompt, which I'll show you how to use that here in just a second. All of that's available for you at your fingertips. So the old way is you could copy and paste all of that into your station browser and add some content that way. But there's a new way of doing this, and I'm going to show you how that works. I'm going to take you to the back end of my Insiders Radio Network, where I've installed the WordPress plugin for Radio Content Pro. There's also an API. If you have a website that is not WordPress, there's APIs that you can connect to and do exactly the same thing on your website. The WordPress plugin takes every article that you subscribe to and puts it on the back end admin tools of your website. So this is the feed that I've got that's plugged into Insiders. And I've got the news talk and information feed that's plugged into Insiders. Every time a story is published, it puts it right here on your dashboard, and you can choose to publish it with one click, or you can create a draft and then edit it and publish it with one click. Done. Instant content that's put up there. But the API or the plugin also gives you the option of completely automating it. So every time a post comes in from a various category in Radio Content Pro, you can set this to auto draft. So it creates a draft and puts it in there ready to be edited, or auto publish. And auto publish means it takes your content and publishes it to your website without the human even touching it. You don't have to do anything to it. It'll constantly publish 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You can assign the author to it. So let's say you're a CHR station and you've got a personality that does entertainment reports in the morning and you want to make him or her famous for that. You can make them the author. So every post has their name on it. And if you put their station and the time of day that they're on, that'll appear as the author as well. So you're cross-promoting back to your station. And then you can change to any category that you want. You pick the WordPress category that you want to publish to. So if you want to call balanced news or entertainment news or happy news or something else, instead of happy news, you want to call it today's good news or Springfield's good news. You can do so right here just by changing it to whatever you want to publish it on your site. So now you're publishing constantly. And over here, it says import featured images. Now, one of the things that you're thinking about is where do those images come from? Well, these images come from the original source. If you publish the image, it'll take it from the original source, but you might run into some copyright problems. Now have generation, automatic AI generation. You can generate an image with AI by using credits. And every subscriber gets some credits every month for free as part of their account. But you can generate a new image right here, right on your desktop. And you can also do it through the API and the WordPress plugin and have a brand new image ready to add to your site. And it can be completely automated as well. So the entire process is now automated and done for you. If you want some more ideas on it, I'm going to show you what Ava Hart can do. You can see Ava down here in the lower right-hand corner. She'll pop up and you can ask her questions and you can ask her to customize this for your personality or to give you a rewrite on it, turn a story like this into something good news and take a positive slant from it, or whatever you want to do with it. So there's a lot of options. There's a lot of features in there, but I don't want to bog you down in it too much because I want to show you how you can make money with it by generating the content that is available in Radio Content Pro. So let's get back to the slides and I'll show you the process. So the first step, get that local URL. The second step is get Radio Content Pro. It's affordable ways of subscribing. We'll answer those questions in a little bit, show you some different ways to do it. When you do it, you'll pick a kit. The kit is the format, if you will. So pick the kit that fits your brand and also toss Local Beat into that shopping basket. Local Beat sources content from your market that's happening 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and it publishes the local content onto your website as well. Gives it the full Radio Content Pro treatment. So Radio Content Pro with Local Beat is the way to go. And Andy, I know you've got some clients that are using this. What's been their experience with it so far?
They rant and rave about it because I've got one client that's using it in a fairly small market. It's a market that used to be rated, but is no longer a rated market, 90,000 people in the town. And they didn't think they would get local stuff because of the size of the town. And they're getting tons of local content from it. They're not using the API yet. They're still manually picking and choosing the stuff to post on there, but they couldn't be happier with the volume of content they're getting from it.
The API is a game changer, or if it's a WordPress platform on your site, the WordPress plugin, it'll absolutely change everything for them. And if you're wondering if Local Beat will work in your market, Andy mentioned 90,000 people. We've installed Local Beat in markets as small as 15 to 20,000 people. I believe 20,000 might be the smallest, but somewhere in that area. It generates content in the local market. Now, if you're in a small market like that, if you're in a small market that's 20,000 people or so, you're probably reaching outside of your home community and getting into some of those cities right around your area. When you sign up for a local beat, just tell us what those cities are and we'll add that to your feed. And so your local service area can be a little bit broader than that as well. So if you don't own local online, somebody else probably will. And as Ava says, it'll probably be some dude in a basement. So add local beat to it. I can, if we have time at the end of the presentation, I can go back in and I can show you what some of the feeds are from local beat in San Diego. Then you activate the plugin. That's the third step. The plugin comes free. It's part of Radio Content Pro. So if you've got a WordPress site, you can download it right from the Radio Content Pro site, activate it on your WordPress admin tools, and it'll immediately start feeding your Radio Content Pro content into your website. If you don't have a WordPress site, you can download the APIs and connect that way and do the same thing. Jackie Parks from EnvisionWise is on this call. I saw her in the chat room a little bit ago. And we're in the final stages of doing an integration with EnvisionWise. So if you're an EnvisionWise website client, she builds websites and hosts them for radio stations. In the very near future, you'll be able to access it from that dashboard as well. And if you're looking for a new website provider, Jackie's the person to talk to. You can talk to her through the chat box right here. So does your social beast have a bigger appetite? Turn Ava loose. Every article, every story comes with social media posts. So now, how do you promote your local site? You've got this website. Other than your radio station, how do you get traffic to it? Well, you start some social media campaigns to drive traffic to it. So you've published the Britney Spears story. Now grab the Britney Spears tweets and post it on X. You've got Instagram posts, you've got Facebook posts, all driving traffic to your local website hub directly to that story. Your site will update itself. You can go have coffee because your content is already published. It runs in the background. It's done for you. Now, programmers, imagine this. And managers, imagine this for sponsors on every category and every page. Imagine you're a CHR station. You've got a branded pop culture section that features your talent. In the sidebar, there's a picture of Kara from Tad, Drex, and Kara on B98.5 in Atlanta. Kara does Info to Go every hour on the show. It's 3 stories that come from the world and usually from pop culture. You can brand your personality on there with the time that they're on and the time to listen. So as you publish it, every time somebody sees that article or sees a story or comes to the website on that local portal, you're promoting your brand and reasons to remember your radio station and come to your radio station. So it's free marketing and publicity. Now, this is a game changer as well. Email marketing is underrated at radio stations. You can add an automated newsletter. There's a WordPress plugin, which we'll tell you all about. It's not ours. It's an external WordPress plugin that you can activate, and every day, and you can set it to send as many newsletters as you want. You can have it sent out every day. You can send out the entertainment newsletter, just pulling from the entertainment category, the pop culture category. You can send hard news. You can send local news. You can send sports, and let people sign up for whichever newsletters they want to subscribe to. Now you're marketing every day. And if you've got some brand elements, let's say you've got a rock station, you put your rock news category up on your local portal, and you're sending the rock news email newsletter out to everybody who's signed up for that, and cycling them back around to listen to your no repeat rock fest 3 o'clock every afternoon, no commercial free rock fest every afternoon at 3 o'clock on your radio station. And you're getting that out into the hands of people who may or may not currently be listeners. And for the people who are currently listeners, now you've got a way to stay in touch with them on a regular basis with fresh, constant, updated information. And you can do that with the local categories. You can do it with every category you put up on your local portal website. All hands-free, completely automated, no human interaction necessary. And by the way, everything that I'm talking about here is sponsorable. Now, let's say you've got some personalities that would like to have a video presence. A video works online, works on social media, works on your website. Every Radio Content Pro story comes with a video script. It's usually about 30 seconds to a minute long. It's written in a style to be spoken and not read. And all you have to do is tell that entertainment reporter to flip their camera on their phone, use this script, and you upload that video onto social media with a link to the story on your local portal. Or you can do it the other way around. Tag that script, that video from the script onto the bottom of the blog post and promote on social media so they see your talent doing that video online. Now you've got another way to monetize the content. Video pre-rolls, more traffic coming to the website, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Here are some of the 27 different ways you can monetize it. I'm not going to go through all the details here, but as you establish your local portal, you establish a separate brand that's promoting your station. Now, let's take the radio station's contests and promotions and put them up on the local portal. Start a new page for contests and promotions. When it's exposed to a larger audience, you get more participation. So register to win. Now it can be sponsored by a new advertiser as well because you've got it in a new platform. You can do features and sponsor pages and display ads and podcasts and video pre-rolls and sweepstakes and sponsors of each category that you create. Video pre-rolls, lead generation, streaming sponsors. I would absolutely be streaming all of your radio stations from that portal, especially if you're in a PPM market where you're getting ratings credit for that. I'd be streaming your stations there, and you can have a streaming sponsor on each of your station pages there, as well as on your radio station page. So there's an endless number of ways that you can monetize this. Email offers, the email newsletter sponsors, social media campaigns, video sponsors, local experts, best of Springfield, ad widgets that go on there, takeovers. All of these are very doable when you start building traffic. So you've just built a digital business and you're still finishing your coffee. Now imagine you do this. If you're a salesperson or a manager in a local market, what if you went to an advertiser and said, what would you pay for a branded pop culture section of the local site? I showed you the one with Kara from Tad, Drex, and Kara. So you've got that completely branded. You can put an advertiser on there. A newsletter goes out 7 times a week to subscribers. The ones who say, I want to stay up to date on everything that's happening in pop culture. It gets sent to them every day. It's promoting back to your radio station, but it also contains an advertiser branded message. You're promoting it 20 times a week in your entertainment report. And I do the math by saying you're doing it 4 times a day, 6, 7, 8, and 9 a.m., 4 times a day, 5 days a week. That's 20 times a week. So you're going to give them a sponsor mention 20 times a week in the entertainment report. Now, another way of doing this, by the way, is to give them that sponsor mention at the end of the entertainment report by promoting localsandiego.com to stay in touch with everything that's happening in pop culture today. I'm following all of these stories courtesy of our friends at Branded Sponsor. You add some promos running outside of the show. So that Britney Spears story, you've got your personality saying Britney Spears' apartment is a mess and everybody's talking about it on social media. I'm covering this at localsandiego.com. Go to the pop culture report courtesy of so-and-so. Added mentions, added promos, content-based promotions that, again, emphasizes what your personalities are for. You do 1 video a day. Take that video script, record that video, put it on one post, feature that post on the website, put it up on the station website, put it up on social media. You could even give it to your client and have them post it on their site because you'll be uploading it on YouTube. Just give them the embed code. So more publicity, more advertiser value that's going into it. What if the sponsor pays $1,000 a month? And that's really cheap for all of this value. $1,000 a month is pretty inexpensive. Multiply that by dozens of categories that are automatically created and generated using the tools that I just showed you. Now you're spending most of your time monetizing it and making it rain, and less time creating that original content. You're figuring out how to leverage that original content. Once you build it, you can profit on it forever. In addition to the things that I just showed you, you can also add I call these ornaments. You've just built a Christmas tree. Now you put ornaments on it. Add contests and sweepstakes to it. You can do quizzes. This is going to be manual. This is not something that can be automated. But as you start building this business, you can start funding it with some personnel. You can add some assets to it. Build a database. That newsletter database, the contest database is going to be really valuable, not only to promote to your own brands, but to do things like lead generation for your clients. That car dealer who's interested in selling a Mazda, Honda this weekend. Be nice to know the people in your database who are looking to buy a car in the next 60 days, wouldn't it? You can now use that to do some lead generation for them. You can also do a feature like Hometown Heroes. It's a great on-air feature. It's a great website feature. It's a better local portal feature. So you got this entire section that's honoring people in your community. They're making it a better place to live. It's telling stories. You can do video with it, and you can get your personalities involved with it and make them more popular too. And it's highly sponsorable. There's a feature called Love Letters to Your Town, Love Letters to Springfield, for example. I stole this from KCRW in Los Angeles, the public radio station that right after the Pacific Palisades fire last year, they said, LA's hurting right now, but we know how much you love it here in Southern California. We want you to send us the best part of it. What do you think is the best part of living in Los Angeles? Send your love letters to LA. And they had a place to do that on the website. Those are all published online. It's all sponsored. They use the best excerpts of that in on-air promos, also sponsorable. So you can see how this starts building out. You can do local experts. Maybe you've got a plumber who wants to sponsor the local experts plumbing page, an electrician, a carpet person, dentists. So one local expert in every category, and you can let them contribute content to it as well. The best of Springfield. There's probably a newspaper that's already doing the best of your town, or a local magazine that's doing the best of. You can steal that from them or do a second one and do it around your local portal because you'll have the base for it. You've built the Christmas tree. Now you're hanging an ornament. And branded station pages. You can start promoting your stations by making your stations the sponsors and your personalities the stars that come alive in front of other people. All right, so that's what you do and how you make money with it. How do you do it? What's it going to cost? There's definitely a cost. Well, I'm going to dodge this a little bit and just tell you that it's affordable. Here's what different price points look like. You get a Radio Content Pro license. It's based on the market size. It starts at $99 per month per kit. If you've got 3 stations, you're probably going to want 3 kits. It's based on market size. As you get up in larger markets, it gets to be a little bit more expensive than that. Local Beat is $99 per month for all markets. Same cost for every market, but Local Beat is an add-on. Newsletter Pro plugin is $99 per year. That's a plugin that will drive your email marketing newsletter and automate the marketing newsletter. Highly recommend it. You don't have to do that, but I highly recommend it. And for $100 a year, you'll make that back in the first sale that you make. And then hosting and theme. You're probably wondering if you can do this with your team. Yeah, you can do it with your team. You only need one person who's a little bit technically literate. You can probably get it done in a couple of days. If you want someone to do it for you, we can do it for you. It's a complete done-for-you plan. We'll build the site. We'll connect the kits. We'll put it all together. There is an upcharge for that. And hosting and the theme will be included in the done for you plan. And by the way, all of these prices are based on an annual agreement. So done for you, 0 headaches. We'll fully build the website. We'll install your site. We'll send you the URL and the admin tools and turn you loose so you can just manage it and sell it. The newsletter will be designed, built, and ready to go, ready for you to drop in advertisers. A standard template with ad units and forms. You get the keys to the car so you can go, and it includes everything you need to get up and running in no time. Ava says it's easier than setting up your iPhone, and you don't have to deal with Siri. You can get details by going to radiocontentpro.com. But better than that, let me set you up with an offer to get a demo, get some more information. And if you want to see what Radio Content Pro is like, you can also get a free trial for a couple of weeks for the kit of your choice. So click on this link, sign up for a demo. You can name the time that you want to do it. You get a free demo, get more information. You can ask all of your specific questions about how it works for your market. If you're interested in the Done For You service, they can take care of all of those questions. And if you have questions about the content or anything else that we've talked about here, you can also reach me. I'm at Tracy, Tracy, at tjohnsonmediagroup.com. Andy can talk to you about it too. Andy, what's your email address that you want him to reach you?
You can Andy at tjohnsonmediagroup.com.
Andy at tjohnsonmediagroup.com. And I highly encourage you to get Radio Content Pro, Local Beat, and start making some money with digital, new money with digital. It's a brilliant way to go. So if you have questions, this would be the time to ask them. You can type them into the chat box. You can type them into the Q&A only box that's right next to the chat icon on your dashboard, and we will answer those. A couple have come into the Q&A only already, which I'll get to in just a second. If there's somebody else in your company, somebody else on your team that you would like to see this, you can either have them sign up directly for a demo with Radio Content Pro, or you can have them contact me or Andy, or wait for a couple of hours and you'll get a link this afternoon to watch this webinar replay at your convenience. It's Ava Hart's Money Machine Playbook. So let's get to some questions. I got one here, Andy. You probably have some more. I know you had said that you had some that came in from Radio Update, but the first question that came in is, how fast can you get this up and running for us? Well, Radio Content Pro, once you sign up for Radio Content Pro, you can be up and running with it immediately. You'll get your login right away, and you can be up and running with Radio Content Pro. And it's got a lot of prep services and a lot of other features that I haven't shown you today. But as far as getting it up onto a website, if you're putting it up on your radio station website and you're working with Jackie at EnvisionWise on the EnvisionWise platform, it's seamless, it's effortless, and it's probably just turning on a switch and you're good to go. If you're installing a WordPress plug-in like I did on the Insider site when I showed you the demo, that took me, and I'm not that technically literate, but it took me about 40 minutes to put that together and have it ready to start auto-publishing to the website. If you're putting it on a brand new website and using the API, it'll take a little bit longer. If you're building it from scratch, you'll probably want your designer to create a theme, to stylize it, to make it SEO friendly. That might take 2 or 3 days of dedicated time to get that up and running, but it doesn't take long to get going. The key is that you have a plan, you have an idea, you have a vision for it, and you've mapped it out. You know what you want to do, and then you can pretty easily go at it and make it happen.
I did have one that came in through Radio Update. Ava also wrote an article about external websites on there, so this came in from that. But they ask a external website question. This shouldn't be done through a media group's business-to-business site, like, say, company name or city name, media.com. This should be.
I would not do it. You can do it that way, but I would not do it that way. And there's a lot of reasons for it. And this kind of gets down to the weeds, but you're thinking long-term here, thinking about long-term planning. Of course, you want to make your imprint on the audience, right? You want your brand to be famous. But think about this: if you're truly selling a new portal, and if you're truly starting a new business, wouldn't it be better to separate that from your core business? You own it, but it's a subsidiary of what you're doing. And why is that? Well, let's say that you're giving away a car, and it's an enter to win online promotion with a car dealer, and you're giving away a Prius. You want as many entries into that Prius contest as you possibly can. It's good for the car dealer. They're generating some potential leads and people who are interested in Priuses. You're promoting it on your radio stations. You're promoting it on your station websites, promoting on your station's social media, but you're driving traffic to the local portal. Now, if that's branded with your company, a lot of other ad outlets in your market won't let the Toyota dealer promote that on your local portal, on localsandiego.com. But if this is localsandiego.com and there's no branding for your company other than the sponsored pages for like the entertainment page that I showed you and some things like that, where you're driving people back like any other sponsor could do, there's no other branding that makes it obvious where that is. That Toyota dealer can now say, this is my promotion. I'm running it on this site. And they can get their other radio stations, other TV stations, their print advertising, their direct mail, and all the social media that they can leverage, promoting their audiences to come to your website. And when they enter, who owns the database? You do. And now you're promoting to them to get them to your radio stations for specific reasons. They're signing up for your newsletters. So you're essentially leveraging the advertisers' ad buys on other media outlets to build your business that you're monetizing exclusively. So that's how I would be looking at it. Now, you can do it as this is Tracy and Andy's broadcastcompany.com, and we're proud to be involved in our community. I wouldn't do it that way. And those are some of the reasons why. So monetization is some of the reasons why. Also, as a programmer, I want to find new listeners, new opportunities to introduce them to my personalities, to my station brand, to the features that we do, and not just keep selling the same message to the people who are already part of that community. So I would resist the temptation to brand it with my core brand.
Makes sense.
Let's see what else has come in here. Here we go. I work in a small market in the Midwest, and I'm just not sure that there's going to be enough content from my local city to drive content. What do you say? Well, we kind of answered that already toward the end, but my message there would be to try it. I would not launch a local website using this strategy just with local content. I would supplement it. And when you buy one of the Radio Content Pro kits and you subscribe to one of the kits with Local Beat, you're getting all that local content, but you're supporting it with whichever categories that you're interested in. For example, if you want to add national news or breaking news or homeland news or rock music news or country news, you can get the kit that best represents the content that you want to put up there. And each kit has things like trending in social media. It has relationship stories. There's those interesting, goofy stories that happen, seem to only happen in Florida man stories that actually get a lot of traffic. So you might want to use that category. They each have pop culture, of course, pop culture as it appeals to and applies to that brand, and several other categories that you can choose from that are already baked into it. And you can, good news is another one, good news and happy news stories, which is really, really popular. So you can choose the ones that you want to start with, and you can go with all of them, a couple of them, and you can always add some whenever you want to. So as the site starts to get traction, starts to build, you can keep adding more and more ornaments to it. You can keep adding more and more categories and more sponsor opportunities that go along with that. Some things that other companies that have seen this presentation have told me they're planning to do is add a weather app that goes with it. And if you're working with EnvisionWise, I think Jackie has all of these things on EnvisionWise already, but you can add events from your local community. And I know Jackie's got a plug-in for events in your local community that can be added to it as well. Again, more sponsor opportunities and more powerful sponsor opportunities when it's on a local portal like that. I oversee a cluster of 4 stations, and each has a different format. How do I approach the voice of each format and tie them together to feed this new local site? So, okay, so this user is interested in promoting all 4 of their brands and making it cohesive and yet distinct. Makes sense. I understand that. So each of the kits is created with a specific point of view, a specific attitude. Rock's going to have a more cynical, sarcastic, edgy, irreverent feel to it than News Talk will. Christian is going to have a warmer, friendlier, more natural, feel-good attitude than hip-hop. CHR is going to be more upbeat, contemporary, bright, a little bit edgier than mainstream AC. All of them have their own attitudes. So when you subscribe to a different kit that's designed for that format that matches the brand of your station, your AC will probably want to get mainstream. You've got a hip hop station, get hip hop. You've got an urban AC, get urban AC. You've got a country, get country. They all match the feel of your station from that content. Now, when you publish it to the local portal, you probably don't want to duplicate categories. So if you're doing a strange news category, you're going to want to pick the one strange news category from which of those 4 services best represents the local portal. And you probably don't want to brand that with your radio station. Sell that to a different sponsor. Keep it more mainstream. But if you're publishing latest in country news as a category, put your country station on there, use the country feed because it's going to sound like and read like your radio station. It'll fit your brand on the things that you're branding with your local radio station. So there's so many things that you can do. Think of all the tools in Radio Content Pro as being ingredients in a kitchen. You're just choosing which ingredients to activate so you can serve up a dish that's going to sell more meals to your customers that are coming in and attract more customers. Andy, any more questions coming your way?
I did have one from a consulting client of mine that is using Radio Content Pro for groups that do have local staff who are using Radio Content Pro to publish articles on their site. Is it easy to create a hybrid where their talent can still post and the API post as well, or is it an either or?
No, it's not either or. You can have the API or the plugin auto publish certain categories, or you can have it publish to a draft on your website, and it doesn't get published until the user goes in and edits it and then clicks the publish button. So it actually makes the publishing easier, yeah. The blogging easier. Right now, you would copy the content and paste it and into your browser. This puts it right into the browser, so all you have to do is edit it. And the other thing you could do is you could set it on auto publish. You see a story like the Britney Spears story that comes out, and you want to engage your audience in a conversation about it. You can always go into that post, click edit, and now you can add your conversation to the bottom. You can add comments to the bottom. You can put a video up there to it after it's already been published. So you can auto publish and still edit it and fine tune it.
Got it.
I don't see any other questions coming in here right now. If you think of anything later, I told you how to find us, Tracy at tjohnsonmediagroup.com, Andy at tjohnsonmediagroup.com. You can go directly to Radio Content Pro and get a demo. You can click on the offer that I put up on the screen, which will take you right to the demo scheduling service. Take you through a live demo, answer all of your specific individual questions. And after this presentation, if you're still confused about it or you still aren't quite sure what to ask about it, I'd be glad to give you a private demo, take you through it. You can explain your individual situation. I can tell you how I would do it and make some recommendations, and we can figure out how to make it all work. But for not very much money, you can get started with a brand new local portal that drives audience, engages your current fans, promotes through social media, builds a brand new business, and generates tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in potential revenue that you can monetize and harvest forever. Thank you very much for coming. Appreciate it. I'm Tracy Johnson, along with Andy Meadows from Radio Update, and you can reach us anytime. Hope you have a great rest of the day.